2024, what a year. I thought I should do a little recap of this FrenchTastic year we spent together. That begins back in France when Krispy Kreme finally arrived in France and implemented his first shop in Paris, and we went to try it with mom. It was great. Then I did a little video about my English, and then I went straight to Spain by myself. It was an interesting trip. I've been wanting to go to Spain for so long, and Barcelona is a beautiful city. I highly recommend you to visit it if you ever come to Europe. It has a lot of history, and the architecture especially is gorgeous. It was a great adventure, and I remember I stayed at a hostel for the first time as an adult, and it was very, very interesting to meet up with other adults and share our experiences and all that, and I really liked it and enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed those videos. Back in France, I tried a gumbo shop in Paris. I think I was trying to get ready for my Louisiana trip in October. That was still a secret for you guys. And then here we go, the States. This trip was not planned. It was a really good excuse for me to go see my boyfriend, but I made the most out of it and finally explored this amazing city that is Boston. Interesting to see it during winter too. I tried a couple of those Boston pizza and also the donuts, the famous one. I remember it was cold. I got to speak with a firefighter and the accent was wow. It was a really good experience. I got to see quite a lot actually. I walked a lot. I remember I did see Harvard, which was very interesting. And then I ended up in New Hampshire. Pretty happy to cross off this beautiful state of my list. It was, I believe, the beginning of March when I was there, so they still had some snow and it was pretty nice and neat to see the mountains and to go high up there, and I had so much fun. And cargo rail train, if I remember well, that's how you say it, was a pretty adventure and very interesting history behind it too. Lots of beautiful sights, lots of hikes, time with beautiful Harper. We got to see a fisher. I mean, that's definitely a highlight of this year. It is so rare. It's a treasure to see that. It's a gift for any hikers or just nature lover. You know, always remember it's a chance we got to see it, and for quite some seconds too. So yeah, it was really, really nice. Then I took a bus and I went back to Boston to take a flight to Missouri, and there I hang out with my friend Dennis and Ray for a couple more days. I met them the first time last year when I had my helicopter ride, and you know, this amazing adventure that is on a specific playlist that I will link below. And we did more exploring of Missouri and Illinois. And as usual, so much history. I really like this place, you know, this Midwest states, those Midwest states, I should say. I think they're really overlooked when there's just so much to see. And I'm just glad I got to see it, to experience it, and to get more knowledge about this country. At the end of that trip, I had my first tornado warning, I'd say, experience. I freaked out, definitely. It ended up being a pretty huge storm, but nothing too worrisome. And then St. Patrick's Day happened. I was in St. Louis during that time. It was very interesting to experience that too. And I remember going to the zoo, which I really highly recommend. First of all, it's free, and then all the animals, they just look so happy and peaceful, and it was a really nice day too. That was a grizzly bear fight, pretty cool to see. Then back in France for another really amazing highlight of my year, the 60th anniversary of the Mustang that took place in Europe. This was the biggest gathering of Mustangs in the whole continent, in the whole Europe, and it was a really amazing 3-day weekends that I got to share with my mom that I was really happy about. And then I went to south of France to visit some family and visited Cap d'Agde, which I made 1 or 2 videos about, and it was really nice. I hope you enjoyed those sights of France. Then I made a quick video of trying to correct my pronunciations, but it's still a work in progress. And then back in the States in May, in Tennessee with my friend Guillaume, who showed me for I think a good 2 weeks or 10 days everything about Tennessee, and we even went to Georgia and Kentucky for a couple of hours. Yeah, that was the time with the invasion of those illegal insects. Tennessee was an amazing adventure. I got to see so much and I had no idea it was like that, especially how, you know, the forest and nature, the little mountains and all that, so green. I think that was in Georgia if I'm not wrong. Yeah, that was in Georgia. Got to go into caves and see waterfalls below the ground, which didn't even know that existed. Obviously, let's not forget the Jack Daniel's tour, which was incredible, especially to learn about how everything is being made and to be able to see exactly where it's made and all that. And I couldn't even film that part, so I think it's like very secretive, and I loved just being able to see that with my own eyes. Mammoth Cave National Park is in Kentucky. Never know how to pronounce it. Pretty happy to once again cross off another state of my list, even though it was just for a couple of hours that we stayed there. Mammoth Cave, never know how to pronounce this one either. It was same, a lot of history. It was pretty cool to be able to walk down there. It was not that cold. Some of the paths were a bit hard to go through, but that made the whole experience much more interesting. Like Indiana Jones, you know, I really loved it. Other hikes and time in beautiful nature, and then back in Nashville to visit the Raymond Music Hall of Fame museums and other iconic places that I'm so grateful I finally got to see, especially this Elvis Presley. I was filming myself so Dad could see me at the same time because my dad is a big Elvis Presley fan. Obviously, I had to have this Broadway experience, crazy nightlife over there, so much music, so many skills, artists and all that. It was impressive, honestly, and very loud. Then on my way to meet Northern Danny in Minnesota, we had an amazing, very busy 10 days exploring this beautiful state that I really think is overlooked, and I don't understand why nobody speaks about it, at least, you know, the foreigners. It was a realization that Minnesota is what it is and how freaking amazing this state is, everything that it has to offer. Oh yeah, we saw a beaver. It was pretty cool. I mean, the amount of hikes you can do there, the amount of nature, like even when you drive, it's so much nature. It's really amazing. We had great weather, a lot of sun. Sometimes the temperatures were cold, but it was, you know, it's Minnesota, it's up north. We did go to Wisconsin a couple of hours here and there, so I was happy to be crossing that border too. That was pretty cool. And remembering Maya, oh cutie. Let's not forget the 16 ice cream dessert we got. First and probably last time I got so many ice cream at the same time. I ziplined for the first time in my life. This is definitely a highlight of my year. It's like flying, and I had so much fun, like so much fun. It was so much fun. That is from the Arboretum. That is a great place, and I found so many animals, like this cute bunny, and I remember snakes, and even like a beaver I think at some point, and so many birds. It's a great place. Then going up north, I think that was more like east. We went to this Eagle Center, and I got to learn a lot. I mean, it's the emblem of the United States, so I was pretty happy to learn about them. And then going up north, we did this alpine, I think you say, coaster ride. Same, a highlight, because it's like you're flying, and it's just so much fun. I wonder what it's like when it's snowing. Well, maybe it's not raining, but sure, it's a lot of fun too, and another view of this part of the state. Duluth is a city that has so much beauty everywhere. The food is amazing, the streets are gorgeous. Let's not forget about the boat, the freighters, I think you say. No, yeah, we tried those. World famous pie, they were both really good. Yeah, the freighters, oh my gosh. I think it was my first time saying in real life boat. They're not boat, they're freighters that big. It was impressive. At some point, we were right next by the Canadian border, which made me very happy because I love Canada and I cannot wait to go back there. Those hikes we did were pretty nice. We did not end up seeing a moose, which was my wish. I think probably for the best. But we did end up seeing so many great sights, and I got so many more stamps on my little book. Oh yeah, that's another highlight. I mean, everything is a highlight, but honestly, that was so much fun. Kayaking on the lake. We had the best people to explain to us everything about this lake and the geology, and it was just so much fun to be able to. It's cave kayaking, so to go through those caves, I mean, I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know it was a thing, but it is, and it's just so much fun. Very tiring, but you get your abs, and it was just fun. Then we went to, I think it was Ely to go see this center. We learned about the black bears, and I remember on our way back, we saw a real black bear in the wild, so that was pretty cool. Oh, maybe Ely was this wolf center. Same, an amazing experience to be able to be so close to them and just to learn about the species, and yeah, pretty cool. And that was the end of the trip, and I'm so grateful I made another friend, Danny, Northern Danny. You're gonna understand why there is a Northern and a Southern Danny in a bit. Then I did not go back to France yet, and I met my boyfriend again in Boston mainly for a baseball game, but it was very nice to see Boston during spring, should I say summer, I believe. I met his girlfriend. Oh, he was so cute. He touched me. Adorable. The city during summer, spring is quite different from winter, but I'm glad I experienced it during both of those seasons. And then it was my second baseball game. This one was honestly much better, much more people, and it was the Yankees, not because he Judge, so big in real life. That was pretty cool. And yeah, I just really enjoyed my time there. Then we flew to Kansas City for a couple of days. We wanted to check out the city, so that's what we did. And same, it was fun. Interesting city, Kansas City. Pretty empty, wide, but there's actually a lot to do, so it's confusing and interesting at the same time. Obviously, the barbecue was the best I ever had, and I cannot wait to go to Texas to compare, so you guys are happy about it. But beautiful city, lots to do. The zoo was pretty nice too. It was so hot, I remember, but interesting to experience too anyway. And then we flew to Connecticut. Yep, not going back to France yet, spending as much time as I can in the States and with my boyfriend, obviously. Connecticut is an interesting state. There's definitely a lot to do. People don't really think about it. I remember getting a message from someone saying like, what are you going to do there? I mean, we did so much, honestly, and it was a lot of rest too and working, but I got to go to my first driving, which was a really amazing experience. And this place, the New England Air Museum, was so cool. Lots of people didn't know about it, and they honestly have so much planes over there. And just a lot of history too, so it was interesting. Got to see a lot of nice thunderstorms too, and yeah, it was my longest stay in the States, and I loved it. Visited Yukon, obviously. You need to go there if you go to Connecticut and try their ice cream, because those are good. I mean, freshly made, cannot beat that. Cabela's. Oh man, that was an adventure. I so wish we had that kind of place in France. It was like a zoo for me, just so cool. and then just, you know, having fun, having this daily life experience that I enjoyed a lot was really nice. Just going around, visiting here and there places while I was working and resting and just enjoying my time. IHOP is definitely another highlight of my trip, one of my new fave from 2024. The hikes were nice, definitely did see a lot of wildlife over there, and the weather was really good. It was usually raining at the end of the day, which would freshen up the air, so it was pretty nice. Same. Those are so good. And Reuben sandwich, oh my god, those, I really wish we had them in France. Then Cape Cod. Oh my goodness, Cape Cod was beautiful. I had so much fun at the beach over there. The food was so fresh and just everything was so, like, I took so many pictures in Cape Cod. Oh yeah, I caught my first crab too. That was pretty nice. It was just so much fun in Cape Cod. A lot of rest. I did work, but we mainly enjoyed the beach. And look at us. I mean, that was a lot of fun. We also saved little Calvin, which is he's a snapping turtle, but we found him on the beach. Don't really know how he ended up there, but we saved him at the really right time. I think he was about to die, and we put him in a pond. And little Calvin, I really hope you're doing well and taking over that pond. And then I tried lobster for the first time. I think Cape Cod was the perfect place to do that. It was, let me tell you, it was delicious. But the whole process of cracking it was actually a lot of fun. And the atmosphere and the people I was with, and this whole thing was really like warming my heart. And just before leaving, we saw a seal. That was cool. Then back in France, I went back to Normandy to film the 80th anniversary of the D-Day. I went to places I've been to and other places I didn't go to the first time I went there to film that for you guys. Same, everything is linked down below if you want to check them out. After that, I went back to the States. Woohoo! Well, that was a couple of months later, and I went back for Halloween. And that was Louisiana, and Louisiana marks the state where I drove my first Mustang. Finally, this experience happened thanks to Southern Danny. And I mean, this is the current trip I'm editing, and as you can see, we've been doing so much and there's so much more to see. As you can see, little snapshots of what's left for you to see. I did end up going to a college football, as a lot of you guys wanted me to. It was fantastic. It was so loud. The loudest place I've ever been to, honestly, but it was so cool. I did celebrate my birthday in Louisiana with my friend Southern Danny, and it was also very lovely. And then I flew to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to join my boyfriend for a couple of days there, and also in North Carolina. We stayed at North Myrtle Beach, which is not the same as Myrtle Beach, but we're gonna talk about that when I will edit the videos. We did go to North Myrtle Beach to visit this battlefield memorial ship, and it was pretty neat. Especially, we could go everywhere, like literally everywhere, so that was cool. We did a couple of more things. Obviously, I found a cat. Ate fresh food, stuff like that. Enjoyed the beach. It was pretty nice. Even in November, I did not swim, but did spend a lot of time walking along the beach, and it was pretty nice. Then I went to DC, Virginia was Virginia technically, to go see this place that I think was important to, at least at some point, visit and film for you guys. And then I flew back to Minnesota because I wanted to see my friend Northern Danny again. So I hang out with him a bit more. I actually spent Thanksgiving with him, which was my first Thanksgiving in the States. But you're gonna see all that in the videos in a couple of weeks. And I got to see the snow, and I got to feel how cold it gets, and that was an experience. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad we could create more memories together. Danny is a cool dude. And look at that, snow. That was fun. Anyway, that was my recap of the year. I definitely missed a lot of moments, but it's just impossible to put all of the highlights of my year in just one video, or it would be like a very long video. But now it's the time for me to say how grateful I am for you guys. This YouTube community is my life. It's definitely what makes me happy on a daily basis, and without you guys, I would not be able to live the life that I'm living right now, and I would not be able to experience everything that I've been experiencing. And I'm so grateful and lucky to have the life I have, but it is thanks to you guys, because you're here, you're part of the community, you're watching my videos, you're involved in this life, in this journey. Obviously, an enormous thanks to my patrons. Without them, this whole thing would not even be possible at all. So my patrons are definitely a huge part of my success. I want to thank Keith for making all of my beautiful animations on this channel. Every animations that you see, it's him. He's been doing them for FrenchTastic for a couple of years now. I mean, this FrenchTastic introduction is iconic. It is part of my videos. It's the signature, and I'm extremely forever grateful to have those. So thank you very much, Keith. Especially like those new drone ones. They look so cool. That makes me want to do more drone shots. A huge thanks to Northern Danny for welcoming me and showing me everywhere in Minnesota and just taking part of my FrenchTastic journey, and also for this new amazing friendship we have together. Another big thanks to Guillaume for showing me Tennessee and a bit of Georgia and Kentucky, and for being my friend. Guillaume has been featured on my videos a couple of years ago for the first time. He now lives in Paris, and I'm happy to be able to share a friendship with him. Another big thanks to Southern Danny. I'm very happy that I finally got to meet Danny. We've been talking for years now. He showed me everything about Louisiana, and I really think I couldn't have had a better guide and also friend for that. So thank you so much, Danny. We shared amazing memories, and I do hope we're gonna share many more. I also want to thank Dennis and Ray for welcoming me once again in Missouri, St. Louis, Illinois, and showing me more of those beautiful places in those states, and just for being good guides and teaching me so much about the history of this country, which I think is definitely important, and which I feel like too many foreigners miss, the history of the country, which explains a lot about the country nowadays and all that, but that's another topic. Last but not least, I want to say a huge thanks to my boyfriend and my family for being there, for loving me, and for supporting me. Having people who support me mentally, psychologically is definitely a huge part of my success and of how I can keep going, even though sometimes it is hard in my personal life or just in general. Being, by myself as an entrepreneur on YouTube, it's not always easy. Just the other day I received a very hateful comment, and it was a hard couple of hours, and my family was there for me, and sometimes it's just that, and if you're not around good people, it can mentally be pretty hard, pretty tough. But I'm grateful to have a really wonderful people around me. That is something I will be forever grateful for, having my lovely family and having my boyfriend. Every day I wake up and every day I feel very grateful to have them part of my life, part of my memories, part of my adventures. I'm really grateful for them. With that being said, I wish you, everyone, a happy new year 2025, and I wish you the best health you can have, a lot of discoveries, experiences, a lot of travels, because I know it brings me a lot in my life, and I'm sure it can bring you a lot too. And I wish you the best, and I really thank you for being here, part of this journey, part of the FrenchTastic community, and I love you all. Happy New Year.